Good evening, everybody, and welcome to round 6 of the Saturday Super GT series. I'm here with Josh.
Hey.
And James.
Hello, hello.
And tonight we're at Kyalami. For round 6 of the ESR and RWB Saturday GT series. So, hello guys, how's it going?
Oh, you go ahead first, James. I'm still watching everything going around. But yeah, how are you doing, James? How you doing?
Yeah, all good. Yeah, I thought I'd jump back in for this one. Had a bit of a free night, so always good to be watching some racing. Obviously, Spa 24 is on, but definitely worth pulling myself away for round 6 here. Definitely getting tight up the top in quali at the moment, as you can see. We've got Anderson and Badowski really close, 10th apart. You know, you can see on the screen Kenny P3, 2/10 down. So it's all getting very, very close at the front of the field. I'm sure we'll give you a rundown at the end of quali, see where everyone lies.
Yeah, that top 5's all within 6/10 of each other. That's pretty close. And then in the GT4s, it's not as close, but the top 3 are all within 6/10.
Yeah.
So yeah, it should be pretty close. Looks like we've got
Definitely.
Susie in the chat. Hello, Susie. So we'll just give you a quick rundown of who we've got out on track tonight, because it's not as filled up as it has been previously. We've got 20 drivers, 11 GT3s, and 9 GT4s. So currently on pole is Marco Badowski, then we've got Andrew Anderson, Sean Kenny, Xavier Eugenie, Baba Ganoush, Damien Wilk, RWB Crookie, Dylan Muller, Nelson Abrunosa, Pete Van Doren Marlin, and Jay Gixer. And then in the GT4s, we've got James Butler, John Barker, Martin Edmonds, Menacing Skull, RWB Flack, Will Day, Martin Pater, RWB Charger, and Dale Kelleher. So, I think, Josh, it's your time to shine.
Oh, I do love this bit.
For Josh's famous track walk.
Oh yeah.
So I'm excited to see this.
Have you decided who you want to go on board with tonight?
Oh, I think if we just stick on Eugenie, hopefully he doesn't cancel out halfway through. As we get on board with him now, heading down the main pit straight as he comes up to the kink, which is a slight right-hander, still flat out all the way down. As he comes up now, braking at the 100-meter board into Crowthorne, which is T1. It's a very, very horrible first left corner. Remember to stay up to the left as he goes around the sweep, avoiding the sausage curb on the left as he goes around the barbecue, which is a nice sweeping 90-degree left. Flat out now as he tries to get a draft of GT4s ahead or any drivers he's trying to pass, so he can go around Sunset here, which is a long flowing right, being careful not to be thrown off to the left on the exit here. Luckily, Eugenie keeps it nice and tight. Heading now onto Clubhouse Bend, which is it's quite a technical 90-degree left. Making sure not to run too wide there again for track limits and the gravel. Onto the S's now, which is a left down the hill, over to the right. Make sure you get your power on as you head up the hill, heading towards Leo Coupe. This is a blind braking point, so hopefully he doesn't outbrake himself like we saw RWB Cricky earlier in practice. Long left-hand round, it's kind of an elbow, all the way down now the mine shaft, which is a straight section all the way here. Making sure to again get the draft if he can, as he gets into the braking zone here for the Crocodiles, which is it's got many apexes. James can tell you about that later on. As we head now to the right, making sure again not to run too wide onto the grass. He goes over Cheetah, which is this bit here. Again, making sure not to club the sausage curb like he did there onto Ingwe, which is the final left-hander. As he swings it round in first gear, gets on the power nice and early, making sure not to kick the back out. As he heads down now past the pit wall, all the way across the start-finish line.
Nice.
Wow, that was amazing.
And that was a 142.1 from Eugenie. Oh no, that was a 142.2, so it was a 10th off his best. So that was a pretty good lap, and that was some stellar commentary there, Josh.
It was.
Got to be one of your best ones yet.
I'm actual sweating.
He's improving.
I can say now that there's definitely going to be some action at Liverpool. The hairpin in sort of middle of the lap. So that over the hill crest is going to make it interesting into the braking zone, especially if you're following someone as well. So I think that could definitely cause some action.
Yeah, maybe a bit of first lap.
Yeah,
First lap action at that corner if everyone's still managed to keep bunched up. So
yeah, there's definitely some aggressive curbs around here as well.
Yeah, what was the what is it? Ingwe, the final corner? No, Cheetah.
Cheetah,
Is
that's
that
Cheetah.
it? Cheetah with the aggressive curve on the inside.
Cheetah and the sweep are just nasty.
Yeah.
They properly throw you off the course if you absolutely if you even dare look at them, they'll chug you off.
So
Yeah.
currently in pole position is still Marco Badowski. No one has managed to beat his 141.7. Then in P2 we've got Andrew Anderson with a 141.8. P3 Sean Kenny with a 141.9. So that's really close in the top three there. And then in GT4s we've got on pole position James Butler with a 151.2. P2 John Barker with a 151.6. And P3 Martin Edmonds with a 151.8. So again, that's quite close to be fair. So yeah, hopefully they can all manage to keep those lap times up throughout the race so it doesn't get too spread out. I wonder if Josh will see similar things to the last couple of rounds with people managing to kind of run away off the front.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you one thing. Looking at the splits here on my magic screen that I've got in front of me, Badowski isn't actually setting the fastest time in Sector 2. He's 0.3 seconds off the current PB in Sector 2 in the service. So he's still got 0.4 seconds underneath him if he can match up the guy who's got the current record for P2 Sector 2 at the moment, which is Baba Ganoush, who's currently 0.4 seconds faster than him. So Badowski's still got plenty of time in his trunk. He just needs to weave it all together if he can.
Yeah, 6 minutes. He's got what, three laps left if he's timing it right. But he's currently sitting in the pits, so maybe he's done for the session. He's tired himself out too early.
Or a last lap push.
Yeah,
See.
you never know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely tight up the front end of the field. I think it seems like maybe the top 5 of the GT3 field maybe you're going to be quite close for the first few laps, providing nothing happens between them. And then maybe there we'll see who can maintain their pace for the longest, really. The GT4 field might be a bit more spread out near the front, but you've got the differentiation of the cars there at the front of the GT4 field. You've got the leading as the Jetta of Butler at the moment, car number 17, which will be much better in the mid corner, where you've got the Astons behind him, P2 and 3 of Barker and Edmonds, which will probably be a bit better down the straights.
Yeah, it should be interesting going to turn 1 because I don't think the Ginetta is going to get as good a start as the P2 and 3 behind him in the Astons. So it might get a little bit hairy into turn 1 as they try and gain the position early on. I know James Butler is definitely one for running away with the race from the start. We've seen that quite a lot from him. He seems to have quite dominant pace at a lot of tracks. So if they can get in front early on, then that might actually give them a chance to hold him back from running away so early. Down, kind of further down in the GT4s, Charger is sitting in 19th. Surely he can do better than that at the moment. I don't know how he is at this track, but he's usually kind of up there in the top 4.
Using the Cayman GT4,
Yeah.
it's often well these days they're not really favoured among some of the GT4 series. They don't seem to be as competitive as the other cars. I don't know how they stack up in ACC, but definitely the Astons are always pretty strong. So
Yeah, that's definitely a popular choice. I remember the first GT4 league when they first came out, and like half the grid were Astons.
I'm not surprised.
Charger's saying I can in chat. Oh, okay. Those weren't his fastest
here we
laps.
go.
He was on the
Fighting talk going on right now from Charger.
I'm going to assume he was on the wet tyres or something. wet tyres, 70 litres of fuel for his lap. It looks like we've gained a person in the server. We've got
Yeah, you've got
Brandon Warren, who's joined in the Nissan GT3. So it doesn't seem he hasn't gone out for a lap. So he might be starting this one from the back and trying to do an extra pass on all the GT4s, as we saw.
A little bit of a moment.
Not sure who that was, but just
Was that Gixxer by any chance? Or Baba Ganoush?
that was Baba Ganoush.
Baba
Ganoush.
That's unfortunate. That's going to ruin one of his last laps in this session.
Yeah.
I wonder if RWB Crookie's going to manage to overtake his rival Damien. Currently 300s apart. They've been. I don't think either of them's improved for the last like 20 minutes in quali. So
Yeah. Have to throw some tyres at it.
yeah. Hello, Cos.
I'm looking at FX UK. I don't think we can say that as we're not past the watershed yet. But I don't know if you're meaning it like that. But he says Charger likes bringing it up for rear. Let's hope Charger can pull something out and get the performance he needs.
Pull his finger out.
We do have to warn you, this is an 18+ stream.
Especially now we've gained James.
Yeah,
yeah.
James, why did you come here, man?
In fact, I need more beer. I need more beer in me.
Yeah, that's just a general statement for your life, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Every day.
Definitely. But I'm not driving, of course, because you've got to drive responsibly.
Yeah,
Obviously.
that's when you switch to the vodka, right?
It looks like water.
Don't drink and drive.
Yeah, don't drink and drive. It's not good.
Don't. We're not being serious.
Oh. That was a little bit feisty from Abranosa and Brandon Warren. That's unfortunate. He's come into the server late. He's got 3 minutes to set a lap. And just on the final corners, he's going to go on to probably his only lap in the session. Just looks like he's been taken out. I don't know what happened.
I'll tell you what, though, Abranosa can't use the card of I can't see him because Brandon Warren has, well, he had one hell of a livery.
Yeah, it was a bright car.
That was very, very bright.
Yeah, it looks like Brandon Warren's just left.
That's unfortunate. Hopefully we see him come back, though.
Yeah, hopefully that was a disconnect, not a rage quit. But so up the front is still Badowski. He hasn't improved. Andrew Anderson doesn't look like he's improved either, and Sean Kenny in third, couple tenths off Badowski. Neither of them are going to be setting another lap. Badowski's on, looks like he's going to have one more lap after this. So, but he looks pretty comfortable in pole position, considering the 3 guys behind him are all in the pits. You never know, Baba Ganoush might put a good lap in. He's got fastest sector 2, so he's definitely got the pace to gain the 5 and a bit tenths that he needs to gain, but
Yeah.
who knows. No,
It's
he's just
interesting
back in
that-
the pits now.
It's interesting that Badowski's doing a 41.7 when you look at last year's times from the 9 hours of Kyle Army when it was Lawrence Van der Hoer in the Porsche 911 GT3R, and his qualifying GT3 time for pole, I believe, was a 42.7, so a second slower than our current P1 time.
Have you been doing some reading, James?
I've been reading your document that you prepared. Thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome. Always got to be prepared for this.
And what's equally impressive, Josh, which you have also written down, is Chris Goodwin's time in the road McLaren P1 with a 1:43. So that car is obviously pretty quick.
Yeah, that's quite insane.
Yeah, it's almost as fast as a GT3 car.
So that's the end of qualifying. There's still just Damien Wilkes still out on track, so let's have a look and see what he's doing. But everyone else is in the pits, so that means the top 5. Actually, no, unless Damien improves, but probably going to be set in stone for now. Brandon Warren has rejoined, so I guess it was just a disconnect. but he is currently sitting in 21st place in a GT3 behind all 9 GT4s. So that's going to be a nice fun start for him.
It always makes you feel good though when
Yeah.
you come through the GT4 field. Gives you a nice warm feeling inside.
It's almost like you at Donington, James, when you came through all the
The
pro-ams.
backmarkers of
or-
GT4,
Yeah.
Let's just hope it doesn't get turned into.
So
Or is
They-
this too soon?
No, it's too soon.
Damien didn't manage to improve on his lap time, so it's Marco Badowski on pole with Andrew Anderson and Sean Kenny in second and third place. Then in GT4s, we've got James Butler on pole with John Barker and Martin Edmonds in second and third place. So that doesn't look like it's changed in the last 15 or so minutes. So that was a fairly start biased. I don't even know what I'm trying to say.
They did all their fast laps at the start.
Yeah, thank you, James. Thank you.
The track temp could have changed throughout the session, which may have then slipped away from all their setups. So that's why they may have done their fast laps at the start when the track was maybe a bit faster.
Yeah, so 2 minutes. They've got 2 minutes to get all their fuel and stuff ready. One stop it's a mandatory tyre change, and there's a pit window 20 minutes into the race. So it's the middle 20 minutes is the pit window. So any first lap damage can't be repaired unless you want to pit twice. And I wonder if everyone will actually remember to pit this week.
There's always one.
Yeah, we've had that twice now. So, yeah, I guess we'll just wait 2 minutes.
2 minutes stationary while everyone makes their setup changes for the race.
Yeah, you can see the cars jumping up and down on the air tracks.
It's a horrible feeling, though, when you think you've got the right amount of fuel in, and then you think that you don't have it in, so you double check and you add a bit more, and then you go, actually, no, that's too much.
Yeah,
Take a bit out. And then what happens with me is I take too much out, so I end up finishing with I have to pit one lap before the end because I have to put in 2 extra litres for the.
It's always that when you're waiting, you're always just anxious and you always overthink it, and then you just keep adding more and more fuel. At least that's what I do, and I end up with 10 litres extra at the end of the race.
literally, I do that as well.
I'm happy to swap places with you.
All right, I ask other people what fuel they're running, and then they're 15 litres more than me, and then I just doubt myself, and I'm like, well, I'm going to run theirs. And then, yeah, I end up with loads left at the end. Yeah, sorry about the quality, cos my computer isn't good enough to run ACC in 1080p on good graphics. So when I play it, I have to have it on the lowest graphics, and I'm sure you'd rather watch it in 720p than on the lowest graphics settings.
Well, Alex, I can give you a blown up 5700 XT if you want.
Oh yeah, that sounds good. Probably better than mine. Do you want to tell everyone what you managed to do to that, Josh?
I managed to blow it up by buying a £35 power supply unit from China, which blew up my motherboard and my graphics card. So I ended up, instead of the wonderful savings of a £35 PSU, I ended up spending about 500 quid on a new motherboard, power supply, and a GPU. Luckily, the GPU has been refunded, or is being refunded in 2 days. But yeah, it was not nice. But yeah, as we now get underway with the race, I can stop chatting about how I've made many regrets in my time. So yeah, here we go. Let's do this as we get underway for the warm up right before we start. It's a rolling start. Everyone gets underway. There's none of that minigame stuff, so everyone just has to follow the car in front. Hopefully, we keep it nice and clean. Are we ready, lads?
I am ready. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm ready.
let's do this. As we come up now, waiting for the green lights to come on, as we see. Oh, and there we go. That was very quick green lights as we see them charging down now. Watching the GT3 pack currently as we head down now towards turn 1. which I believe is Crowthorne, if my memorization is correct, as we see the BMW on the right-hand side sticking nice and wide, trying to avoid. Is that 4 wide going to turn 1 already?
What's happened there?
4 wide never goes well, but as we see now with Badowski still managing to stay ahead with Anderson and the Aston. I'm absolutely gutted, but let's see where everyone comes out. Hopefully everyone gets back.
I think
Spun
that was
the right way around in time. But
I think that was Eugenie that got spun around there in the BMW. Yeah, you can see.
Yeah,
he was in 4th place. He's down in the 8th place. That's
he's dropping.
He's
dropping.
Now.
Yeah. Meanwhile, we've got Dan Wilkes and R. Cricky currently fighting up at the front for P3, P4. Dan Wilkes has just managed to get around the outside of RWB Cricky. And yeah, they're still fighting it out as they head up now towards Leo Corp after the S's. Blind braking spot, remember. Cricky might have had a disconnect, but as Dan Wilkes goes very deep, and we see a Ferrari. It's just everyone's all over the place. But yeah, that was not what we wanted to see at the top. Hopefully, everyone learns their lessons and gets around underway.
We did say the first corner at that blind braking zone could be interesting, and we saw.
Yeah.
I think Cricky went sideways in, Damien went deep, and then the Ferrari just went fully 90 degrees through the corner.
Yeah. It's always a tricky one, that exit, because it sort of drops away from you. So when you're trying to get on the power, then the rear end just snaps around, especially on the mid-engine stuff. It's
Cricky going sideways out the last corner as well. He's not having a good start to that.
No, he's dropped down. I'll tell you who is having a good start though is Kenny in P2 in the Lamborghini. He started P3, I believe, and was actually ahead of Badowski as they were coming into the braking zone. He had overlap, but Badowski just braked that bit later and managed to maintain P1, and then they safely got through the turn 1 and went off after that. But great start from Kenny.
Yeah, so Badowski's got just over a second lead over Kenny, and then Kenny is another 3 seconds ahead of P3. So they've already pulled a pretty big gap to the rest of the pack after all those incidents. Then in P3 we've got Dylan Muller in the Aston, and then P4 Damien Wilk, and unfortunately RWB Cricky has managed to drop himself down to 8th after being so close with Damien for the first lap, but then we saw he had those 2 little sideways moments.
Yeah. Down in Eugenie is now up to P16 as well, coming through the GT4 field.
Oh yeah, he is.
From the incident at turn 1.
Do you know who's had a really bad race down in the GT4 pack? Is RWB Charger. He's now all the way right at the back, started last. After he gave us the fight and talk of him coming up. Hopefully he can improve it. But we've still got Jay Barker right up the tail of Baba Ganoush in the GT3. Whoa. Okay, hang on. We've got Barker barking up the back of Skull now. That makes a lot more sense on him barking up the back of Eugenie and Baba Ganoush as they're working their way back through to catch up to the GT3s through the GT4 pack, which I'm sure you can testify, James. GT4s always hold up GT3s on purpose, isn't it?
Sometimes you can use it to your advantage.
As we watch Eugenie getting squeezed by Skull going around there, going around Cheetah as they come around now. Eugenie will have the power now of that really nice, crisp BMW motor as they head down now towards the King up to Crowthorne. You can see Eugenie getting way over T4 traffic.
Doesn't trust any of them apparently.
I think after what happened at Cheetah, I don't blame him. But yeah, as they're heading down now past Crowthorne, as we're now on board with Jay Butler, who's currently in the lead of the GT4 pack. But yeah, Baba Ganoush is going to let him. Yeah, he's going to get him. But luckily, Butler stays well out of the way. Doesn't do a Mr. Skull and get in the way. But yeah, everything going nice and smooth for Jay Butler in the GT4 lead. But yeah, but what do you guys think? It's been pretty hectic for the first.
Yeah, that was quite a hectic first lap. We saw people dropping all the way down, people gaining. Some people have managed to come off better. Sean Kenny's come off quite well. Dylan Muller up in P3. He's come off really well in the GT3s. Yeah. Down in the GT4s, I think, who have we got in P3? We've got Will Day in P3.
He's moved up because I believe
He's
There
definitely
was
moved
another
up.
Aston in P3
It was,
at the
yeah.
start of the
We had
race.
Jay
So
Barker.
was
Yeah.
it's currently dropped down a bit.
Yeah, so he's down in what, P4 for the GT4s.
Yeah.
We've got Eugenie in there making it difficult to count the positions.
One, two. He's P5.
P5,
Yeah,
thank you.
P5 and GT4s, yeah.
So,
Yeah, I think Baba Ganoush has made his way back through the GT field a bit quicker than Edmonds. Obviously, I think Edmonds was sat at 10-1 for a bit longer, so... oh, no, sorry, no, Eugenie, sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry. Two E's together.
What-
Eugenie just about to take
what
Butler
happened
there.
to Baba Ganoush? How did he end up down in
I
the
think he was
GT4s?
involved in that turn 1
Yeah,
incident.
he was involved in the turn 1 incident.
Ah, okay.
I got spun round with Eugenie, but he recovered fast when Eugenie did.
Yeah, I think it just looked like, from what we saw, it looked like a bit more of a racing incident. It just looked like someone got sandwiched, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's just 4 wide into one corner,
Yeah.
which never ever goes well.
Yeah. And of
So-
course, when you're on the outside of those sandwiches, you can only see the car to your right or your left. You don't know if there's more cars alongside them. So
Yeah, that is true. It maxes out at 3 wide, doesn't it, the spotter? There's no 5 or 6 wide. So up at the front of the GT3s, it looks to me like Sean Kenny's kind of dropping back. He's dropped back from Badowski, but also Dylan Muller's catching. Now it's only a 2-second gap between Kenny and Muller, so Muller's definitely aiming for that P2. Badowski's running away with it already. 3 laps in with a 1.7 second lead. And then Damien Wilk in P4, 3 seconds off Muller. And Andrew Anderson, who's just half a second behind Damien, so...
Yeah, I'd insist he switch to Anderson because they're having a proper struggle as they went through Ingway just then.
You can see they just coming out the final corner there. Anderson definitely tried to look up the inside on the power. I see he nearly sends it up the inside. That didn't look like it was going to go very well if he did send that. But yeah, he's definitely being quite aggressive with Damien. So we might see him getting that move done up into P4 for him.
Yeah, well, we saw Damien get entangled with RWB Cricky and them having a little bit of rubs together. And yeah, I really hope Damien doesn't have any damage. It doesn't look like he does, but that might have just kind of put him in the mindset of everyone's quite aggressive. I just need to kind of just go and not focus on what's behind me. Just kind of keep it clean, keep it consistent, and just go round. What do you think, Mr. Kell, professional British GT racing driver?
We're talking about Mr. Wilk in P4 at the moment.
Yes, we are.
Just to clarify, I think I don't know. He maybe started to look in his mirrors a little bit, and obviously that as soon as you start doing that, it's a bit of a downfall. Because you can see Anderson's closed up quite a bit and seems to be the aggressor. He doesn't seem to be worrying about the 33 Ferrari behind him as much as he's showing his nose. Hopefully trying to force Wilk into a mistake. So it could get very interesting. Both in the same car, so they can't really exploit each other at different areas of the track because they know where each other is strong and weak. But then, they could be fueled slightly differently. One of them could be fueled for 20 minutes, while the other could be fueled for 40 minutes. So it just depends how long they want to take that first stint.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's just it's quite interesting that you say that because they are again in the same car. But yeah, always Anderson sends it down the inside of Dan Will.
He's going to go deep, and it looks like he's going to get a cut back. But now they're going side by side. Oh no! He's hit the curb there, and he's bounced off into the side of Damien.
As the 33 Ferrari manages to weave its way through and manages to come out.
Oh
unscathed.
no!
It's RWB Cricky. Absolutely
God!
The backside.
What's gone on there?
Oh no, that's so unfortunate.
I'm not sure what happened with Crookie there, and now Damien spun with the probably extremely hot tyres that he's got. So that's
possibly
a lot of damage.
Yeah,
being hit
that's
again.
not ideal for them. As he tries to get himself back onto track, he can't pit either. He's got to wait 10 minutes to pit, which is with the amount of damage that him and Crookie are probably going to have from that big shunt.
Oh,
there you go. You
Yeah,
can
Crickie's
see.
currently parked up on the side waiting for him, which is a good sport.
That's
but
nice. Yeah.
that's fair enough. Yeah, it's that inside curve at the sweep turn 2 is very aggressive, and that's what's caused the incident between Wilk and who was it? It was Wilk and Anderson, yeah, and that's further caused incident with Crookshanks, who's collected Wilk on the way through. So just unfortunate, really.
Yeah.
It looks like Crookshanks probably will have to pit looking at the yeah,
looking more like a Ford Mustang than a Lexus at the moment with the smashed up front. But yeah, it's interesting. I know we're meant to remain impartial, and I am remaining impartial and not passing any judgment. But Anderson is still continuing under his way, and he's now pressuring Baba Ganoush currently for the P6 position. And Kenny, interesting, he's catching up to Badalski as well. That gap's come down to 0.7 seconds. Not much happening in GT4 currently, other than Skull barking up behind Barker.
Looks like Anderson just went for the same move on Baba Ganoush as he did with Damien a couple laps earlier, and it looks like it looks like pretty much the exact same thing happened, just without the bad ending. Because I think Baba Ganoush hit the inside curb and seems to have lost like a second just in that one corner.
Yeah,
it seemed like Anderson didn't go as deep that time into turn 1, so was able to get further left for the right-hander of the sweep. So maybe it's a bit easier to make that overtake because Wilk got the undercut on him turn 1. That's why we saw that collision.
But Baba Ganoush also does have a lot of rear damage as well, and rear damage in the Porsche is it's suicide pretty much. It's never fun.
Yeah, not great.
I'm just reading the YouTube chat right now, and Crawford's currently harassing Susie. So that's always good to see from Crawford. He's not only just harassing, but he just harasses everyone.
Yeah.
Can we get him banned?
It's just his nature.
Eugenie's now hunting down Baba Ganoush as well, currently 0.7 seconds, but
it looks like Kenny's closed in on
Kenny has closed in about a second on Badalski. And managed to pull away 3 seconds from Muller. So I thought Muller was catching, but Kenny's just managed to find some pace in that Lambo.
Yeah, we could see a battle between the two great Italian manufacturers.
Yeah,
Ferrari and Lamborghini.
You mean Ferrari and Audi? Yeah.
well, there's still debate there.
Well, if we call them Audi, it will be Ferrari VVW, won't it?
Yeah. The fact that it works suggests that it's German engineering.
Yeah,
with Italian styling.
I think it's not built by Pininfarina, hey?
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to get into that. I'm welcoming of all brands, Josh.
But yeah, just a little update in GT4 as well. We've currently got a train of 3 cars with Skull at the lead with Day behind him and Jay Barker. Jay Barker's been hunting down Day the whole time, but Day of course has been catching up to Skull, so they're currently taking advantage of the slipstream. But yeah, no massive changes, no massive sends or anything. It's quite tame down there. I definitely keep on with currently Kenny and Badalski, who are hounding, like Kenny's just hounding the back of Badalski.
The gap's come down to 4 tenths now.
Yeah, Kenny's reeling him in.
It's getting good.
Yeah, GT4 lead, Butler definitely has a commanding lead over the rest of the pack.
11.3 seconds it's up to now.
Yeah, he just needs to manage that now. At least that's what I'd be doing, just managing the tyres, managing the fuel, and then pitting at the right time.
Do you think the undercut is possible here? Do you think it actually works, or would you just say it's a meme?
If you have a gap like that, 11.3 seconds, it's not really going to make much of a difference. If you've got a gap like Kenny and Badalski do, I'm not sure what you could do with it. The undercut might be a bit stronger. But yeah, we'll see what happens, I guess.
Definitely. As I'd like us to switch now to Day and Jay Barker, because Day just tried to send it up the inside at Leocop, which is, as you see now, Jay Barker getting right up his chuff. Going for the late braking, and he runs wide.
No.
But as we now watch Day getting alongside Skull as they head up towards Cheetah. I'm glad we swapped then, because it was getting very intense and very action heavy there. But yeah, it's... Oh, James, you've driven the Ginetta, haven't you?
Yeah,
What do you think of a Ginetta?
I think it's a great car. I mean, it was always designed to be a race car, so you don't have some of these natural flaws like the AMG in front does or the Aston does behind. They've sort of designed the suspension to be race orientated, so it has that natural advantage in the corners. But I think the power advantage usually goes to the Merc, and the Aston, as we see Day get alongside there, just has more lateral grip, from at least my experience. So it'll be interesting to see. I'd assume the Mercedes will start to pull away slightly on the straight, but Day's in the toe, very close as well. So let's see, going into sunset.
Oh.
Yeah, Merc stays ahead. Yeah, the GT4 spec G55 Ginetta obviously having less aero than the Super Cup spec, which makes quite a bit difference actually. But the GT4 car usually has a bit more power than the Super Cup spec Ginetta G55, so built on the same chassis but go about things a very different way. Personally, I prefer the one with more aero because you can just take so much more corner speed.
It looks like he's managed to get a move done into the blind braking zone.
Yeah, that's a nice move.
That was quite nice. Just nice and smooth. It didn't look... Neither car was out of control or...
No. Yeah, looks great.
Yeah, as we currently see now, the GT3 leaders starting to lap for GT4s currently, with Badowski catching up to that three-way battle that we had just now. But yeah, it's... yeah. I wonder if we're going to see anyone complaining about GT4 traffic today. Everyone seems to be okay. But yeah, I say okay because every time I say, oh, the GT4 traffic's really good, always someone complains about it.
Someone's going to complain, Josh, let's be real.
Yeah, true.
Who doesn't love GT4 traffic?
I like it because it gives an excuse to flash.
Badowski on the grass. So I wonder if we'll see a difference in skill of passing the GT4s between Kenny and Badowski. Either the gap's going to close up massively or it's going to open.
A lot of it is luck with passing GT4s. Sometimes you can get lucky and pass them on the straights and not really be affected in the corners, and sometimes you get held up massively. So it just depends really and where they lie on the track.
It looks like they've managed to hold it. There's still a 4/10 gap between them. So they both managed to do quite well. But Kenny's tried to go on the grass to get past, I think that was Will Day.
Yep.
In the Ginetta. But Day wasn't having any of it. He was staying where he was. And yeah, Kenny decided, I'll go on the grass, and then thought it was a bad idea and went the other way. But I think that's going to have lost him some time to Badowski, which is unfortunate. We'll see when they cross the split line again. There you go, it's up to 1.5 seconds the gap now, up from 4/10. So that was quite a big...
That's also let Miller catch up as well.
Yeah, only 2.3 behind Kenny now.
Wow, this is exciting.
Ooh, who's that in the Aston that took Cheetah very aggressively?
Yeah, that'll be Dan Miller in the GT3 Aston car number 54. He's still hunting down Kenny, so I'm sure he's been, he's getting his elbows out a bit. He's probably going to be starting to rub each other off, getting ready to go for it. But Jay Barker currently is still hunting down Skull. They've been very close to passing Skull, but Barker still can't get the move done, as they're currently hunting down Will Day after that phenomenal move at Leocob.
Yeah.
I'm surprised at how much action's happening at Leocob compared to everywhere else.
But it's a big braking zone, isn't it, really?
It's a big braking zone, but my personal favourite place to overtake on here is Sunset. Just sneak it around the outside.
Interesting Sunset. I suppose if you sneak around the outside of Sunset, you're lined up for Clubhouse Bend on the inside.
Yeah, exactly. This is brilliant. And if you end up being on the inside and you're defending, you can do my personal favourite, where you slyly run them off track.
You just take your line. Just take your line.
I took my line, mate. I took my line. But yeah, it's now the pit window open for 20 minutes now, with 40 minutes left on the clock for the entire race. 20-minute pit window. Let's see how it goes.
Yeah.
So I think
we'll pit early and.
I'm going to assume there you go.
Crookie
Crookie is already in the pits.
I'm not surprised there, but he's already in the pits for that. What I assume is going to be 10 minutes of damage.
Yeah. I'm assuming Damien's going to pit soon as well. In fact, what's happened to Damien? He's down in 11th.
He's still in P11, yeah. Remember, he had that massive accident where he got spun around.
Oh, I didn't realise he'd gone down behind the GT4s. It looks like who's that? Jay Barker's just tried to go around the outside of Skull, but didn't quite get it to stick.
Oh, that's Day for Janetta in front of him now in the pits as well.
Ah, okay.
That's quite interesting.
Yeah. Interesting that Barker hasn't gone for the pit to try and get the undercut, try and get some clean air when he comes out.
Yeah, because it definitely looks like he's probably getting a little bit held up. And they're definitely not having the. I can't speak tonight. I lost my sentence. They're definitely losing time to the battle that they're having. So I'm surprised that Barker hasn't just jumped into the pits.
Well, I'm also surprised that Day has jumped into the pits because he had such an open track ahead of him.
Yeah.
Not much traffic and not really battling anyone, and where the guys behind him were. So, quite an interesting choice, to be honest.
Oh, what's going on with Barker? He got a bit out of shape on a couple of corners ago, and then
seems to be losing it.
Yeah, I think he definitely needs to pit and have like a 30-second breather by the looks of his driving. So out front of the GT4s, James Butler has managed to pull the gap up to 15 seconds now. Only 23 minutes into the race, so that's pretty insane.
That's a great lead.
Yeah. And then we've got Martin Edmonds in P2 and Jay Gixer in P3. And then up in the GT3s, back up front, Sean Kenny's still all over the back of Badowski, and looks like Dylan Muller's managed to catch up. He's now only a second off the back of Sean Kenny.
So they're all to 1.1 now. It's on.
They're all pretty close.
That three-way battle that we really, really wanted.
Yeah. They've definitely all got a shot at winning this, being this close at this part in the race.
Definitely. I mean, they're more than the leader's 12 seconds ahead of P4. So these guys going to be these guys on the podium if nothing goes wrong. So it's just basically if they can sort themselves out. It seems like Kenny's dropped off the back of Badowski now a little bit with Muller catching up, so interesting to see. There might be a battle for P2 here rather than a battle for P1.
That would be probably quite annoying for Kenny. I'm sure he's thinking, just hoping that Muller's not going to battle. Yeah, because I think if I was Muller in this situation with still 36 minutes left in the race, I would kind of try not to lose too much time battling with Kenny and just try and catch up to Badowski, because otherwise Muller's going to have no chance of getting P2, and to be honest, Kenny probably won't really have a chance if Muller starts battling him. Because already,
I'd be surprised if one of them does an undercut, maybe.
Yeah,
and try and get out of that battle before they start getting holding each other up.
That's the thing, they should probably work together, because we saw what happened last week, Alex, at Paul Ricard when he had the two SimSoc team guys.
Oh yeah,
Instead of working together, they ended up taking each other out, so fighting, and basically took away their podium chances.
That was really unfortunate.
So it's kind of a question of, should Dan Miller just sit behind Kenny, not make any moves, just sit there, let Kenny drag him up to Badowski, and then have a three-way battle? That's what I want.
Yeah, 100%. That's definitely the sensible thing.
Yeah, maybe I'll drop them a quick message.
Yeah, maybe you should join the voice chat and be like, Muller, just stay where you are.
Yeah, we don't do any race fixing here.
As Muller bump jabs Kenny.
So after the pit stop, RWB Crookie's down in 14th, so in the middle of the GT4 pack, so that's not a nice place to be. And Damien Wilk is down in P17, quite a long way behind Crookie. I think Damien must have had a lot of damage, because he's, what, like 50 seconds behind Crookie?
Yeah, that's not great, is it?
Yeah, no. I think that might be Damien's chances of coming anywhere other than last, probably out the window at this point. Unless he can.
Right now he just needs to get his consistency rating and get that car control stuff up.
Yeah. So Chargers managed to. Or I was going to say, it's because Will Day's pitted, but Chargers
he's ahead of
in
Peter.
second to last now. So he's managed to pick up some pace from the start and overtake. What's his name? Martin Pater.
Yeah.
So
Pater.
But it's 11 seconds from Charger to Flack. So unless Flack starts making mistakes, I don't think Charger's going to be able to make that up either. Looking at their lap times, Charger's last lap was a 1:54.5, and Flack's last lap was a 1:53.9. So it looks like Flack's pulling away from Charger.
Yeah, it would definitely take something external to affect that, I would think.
Yeah.
Unless one of them makes a mistake, yeah, as you say, it seems like Charger would probably be battling with the number 48 car behind him.
So, here for anyone on YouTube in the chat, he's saying Anderson should get a pen for the incident between Anderson and Damien Wilk. Now, we are impartial. Nothing we say is gospel, you know, we're not the stewards.
We're just the commentators.
Yeah, we're just the commentators, so we're just commenting on what happened. What do you guys think about that incident between them earlier on? While it's quiet for the minute.
It was unfortunate, really. Obviously, you're not in the car, so it's hard to tell, you know, how close everything was. Obviously, Anderson did get up on the curb at the sweep, turn 2, which bumped him into Wilk. So obviously, it didn't seem intentional. Just unfortunate, but yeah, it's hard to say. I'd have to see some onboard footage to actually pass judgment at that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with James. I think from what I remember from seeing it in the moment, I think it was probably more of a racing incident in the fact that Anderson kind of just hit the curb in the wrong way, and there was no way he could have known that it was going to chuck him completely across the track into Damien. Yeah, maybe he shouldn't have gone that aggressive on the curb when he was side by side, but you never know. You can't predict what the curb's going to do to your car when you hit it.
Yeah.
So yeah,
unfortunate.
But who knows?
And then obviously, RWB Crook Shanks got caught up in that as well by collecting Wilk ahead of him. So just unfortunate, really. But they're still racing, so it's not the end of the world.
Yeah. It looks like Sean Kenny's going for a move for the lead here into the heavy braking zone again of Leo Cop, but he doesn't quite manage to get it done. He tried to go up the inside, but obviously had to take a slower line round the corner, and Badowski managed to hold it. But yeah, that's some nice aggression from Kenny. Now he's managed to pull away from Muller and actually get in with a chance of taking the lead. But now, from what it looks like, Muller's managed to catch up after that. So yeah, it could end up being that three-way battle.
I hope it is. I mean, it's great to see that the top three are so close, and it looks like they're the closest they've been, really, to each other. But I'm just wondering when one of them's going to make that dive into the pit, and whether they'll all follow suit, or whether some will stay out, or what their strategy is going to be. Because that could definitely mix things up a bit, depending on you can get maybe an overcut or undercut on someone. So definitely going to be interesting when they decide to dive in.
So we had Crawford.
I am surprised by. Sorry, I am.
Oh.
Just very quickly, I am surprised by Dan Muller's pace because he qualified P9, and he was 1.2 seconds slower than Badowski in quali. So I really want to know where he's just found this pace from. Like, he just seems to be. It's like he flips a switch and suddenly he's now on.
Yeah,
It's amazing. Yeah, great to see.
So Crawford in the chat said that it was 100% Anderson's fault, and he sent it too deep into the first corner, which he did, and then smashes the curb when he could have avoided it. Which I think that could be what happened, but
it's not for us to say, Alex.
Yeah,
it's not for us to say.
It's not.
Falls in a trap.
It's for the stewards to review.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
definitely.
Josh Crawford's asking you to tell him to go and do his work because he's watching this instead.
Crawford, I can't do that because I've not done any work myself today. It'd be critical if I told you to do something.
Procrastination for the nation.
Yeah.
So Muller's dropped back a little bit. It's kind of seems to be they bunch up, and then they kind of draw apart a little bit, and then bunch up again.
Has Badowski just gone into the pits?
Yeah, he has. Badowski's just pitted, and they didn't follow.
Oh, that's interesting. So we'll see what happens in this situation then.
I would have thought one of them would have tried the undercut at least.
Yeah, I'm quite surprised they didn't.
Or going together. That's what
Yeah,
I was.
or
That's
just
what I
all-
was kind of thinking.
Yeah.
Maybe they got them out. Maybe Kenny got them unaware. Not Kenny, the other one.
Badowski.
Maybe
Going well.
him off guard. But yeah, it is strange when they don't go in together or try and undercut.
Well, Kenny's got free air now, so he needs to put a good lap together to try and cover off the undercut from Badowski. But whether he stays out for a bit longer, I mean, he's got 8 more minutes, he can stay out, or whether he just goes straight in the pit now, I mean, it's going to make it very interesting. Obviously, we'll just wait. We'll have to wait till they've all pitted to see who made the right call.
That is true, Crawford. Kenny, if Kenny was struggling on pace while being so close behind Badowski, that he might pick it up now that he's got clear air and get an overcut. But you never know. He might have been hanging on for dear life on the back of Badowski.
It did look like they fluctuated between each other because Kenny would drop off the back of Badowski a little bit and then Muller would catch up. But they've never really been in a situation where there's massive overlap. So they all seem to have similar relative pace. But just interesting to see what Kenny will do now, whether he'll stay out and because he's got the free air or whether he'll pit.
He's
Oh,
pitted,
straight in.
and they've both pitted. Oh,
Yeah.
that was close. Dylan Muller nearly went up the back of Kenny
Very.
into the brake zone. A little bit of a bump draft in the pits. That also that means that Muller gained all that time just on the pit entry. So where Kenny braked a little bit early to be safe.
Don't miss it.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
Kenny missed his spot as well.
No, I think that's going to be it. Unless Badowski missed it earlier, I don't
Badowski's
think.
currently coming down the mine shaft at the moment, heading towards Crocodiles. So we'll see where he is, but it's very close. It's very, very close. Badowski's currently 19 seconds off of the last split.
Eugenie looks like he's doing pretty well. He was.
Well, he's
he
not
was.
pitted yet though.
Yeah, but he was. I didn't expect him to be this high, considering what happened on the first corner. I don't
Yeah,
know
he
where
was
he'll come
right
out,
at the
but
back.
yeah, he was all the way down the back of the GT4s.
He's
So
definitely doing a great
Kenny
job
and
back
Miller
now.
have left, and Badowski managed to get in front of him with
There
a
you
sizable
go.
gap.
Yeah.
Okay, so the undercut is definitely working.
So,
his favour
Off the
then.
back of Badowski, you can just about see Kenny coming out the pits. There you go. He's just coming around the first corner in the yellow Lambo. So that must be what, 5-second gap, 4 or 5 seconds. We'll see when.
Yeah, probably.
Maybe not. Josh, you don't sound so confident on that.
That says, oh yeah, that's Kenny. It's like, it says 19
There you go.
seconds. Mate. Yeah,
4.3 second gap.
I was like, 19 seconds is quite an undercut.
Yeah.
To be honest.
So the undercut's definitely working strong there. Oh, we had a Janetta off to the side of the road there.
Oh, didn't
I
see
don't know if
that.
was that Day maybe? He's in the pits.
Yeah,
again?
Will Day's now in the pits.
So was that Butler off then?
No, Butler was also in
No,
the pits.
Butler was in the pits. Oh.
Dave was just off to the side of the track.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, in the peripherals. I don't know if he's jumped back to the pits for some reason, and he's now left.
Yeah, it looks like
So-
he's retired.
Yeah, must have had an issue or something.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there. Maybe
That's
his
unfortunate.
maybe his hydraulic brake pedal started leaking.
Ruh-roh.
At least he didn't take anyone out. in the
Oh yeah,
process.
yeah. We'll gloss over that one.
Definitely not salty.
Hey, I just equalised the field a little. Just made it a bit more interesting. Oh god.
So Eugenie's just pitted. He's already dropped down 4 spots, and it's 37 seconds back to Abranosa. So he might,
P4.
he could be in P4, which would be impressive.
It would be.
No,
Oh, maybe
no, no. Yeah, maybe not. Oh, he's dropped
6
another
maybe.
place. Yeah, no, it's going to be P6 because it was another minute to Baba Ganoush, who also had issues at the start, didn't he?
Yeah, definitely.
So does that mean there's only 6 cars that haven't had issues in this race so far? I think that's Badowski just lapping RWB Crookie after he had his massive shunt into the back of stationary Damien.
Yep. Very unfortunate. But that's racing.
Yeah. I would like to see the onboard of Crookie when that happened, because I'm assuming if he's gone into the back of him, it must have just come out of nowhere. I don't know whether he couldn't see Damien stopped on that part of the track, or...
Yeah. But you couldn't really see the angle, so we don't know if he was trying to avoid someone or maybe clip the curb himself and then just hit Damien.
Or he's got the worst reactions on the planet. Which wouldn't surprise me, to be honest.
I didn't want to say, but could be that.
So in the GT4s, we've still got John Barker and Charger yet to pit. And then James Butler is 27 seconds. No, he's not. That's the wrong gap.
Yeah, he's 0.5 seconds off Charger.
He's a long way ahead.
Yeah.
Put it that way.
We're waiting for Edmonds on the timing sheet, aren't we? To see
Yeah.
what the gap is. But it seems pretty substantial.
Yeah, I mean it's a long wait, so it's
Yeah.
gonna be a big gap. It's gonna be over 30 seconds, surely.
Put it this way: if
25.
if Butler doesn't win the GT4 class today, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah.
Well, Charger's still only coming up to Leo Cup now. He's only just going down it right now. So he's Barker's got quite a lead at the moment.
Yeah, but Barker and
You should
Charger
be crossing it now. Yeah, it's 28 seconds.
So just looking at the gap between Badowski and Kenny, that was 4.5 seconds. It's now down to 3.8, and it's been what, 1 or 2 laps as Crookie goes wide there.
Yeah, he's definitely making ground.
So
It seems like the overall pace is with Kenny at the moment, but Badowski just had track position on him and played the better strategy and got that undercut.
and not missed his pit box. Yeah, so their best laps, Kenny's actually 0.3 quicker on the best lap, and is currently lapping about, or on the last lap was a couple tenths quicker than Badowski. So who knows? Is 20 minutes long enough to make up the 3.8 seconds?
Oh, it depends. I mean, it depends on the traffic of the GT4 cars. I think he could definitely make it through. And maybe get a bit lucky with GT4s holding up Badowski, whereas Kenny getting them on the straights. So that would probably be the most likely gaining time. But he does seem to have a bit more pace at the moment. Maybe his race pace is a bit better than Badowski's.
Yeah. Josh, I'm just.
If you want to talk, I've been watching Jay Barker.
I'm
recently
watching
in the
Jay
GT4.
Barker as well.
Yeah, I've been trying to figure out what he's doing because he's currently got.
He's got 43 seconds.
Window.
Oh no!
And that's about 30 seconds for the line for him in a GT4. So I'm currently trying to work out, does it if he knows the pit window is about to close and he's just leaving it late?
Is he going to pit? That's the question, or is he going to
must
be the
pit.
one
That's what I
that
wonder. I wonder if
doesn't?
he's forgotten or if he's doing some mega
Here we go. Yeah, it looks like he's going to pit.
Yeah, he's pitting off.
Okay.
So he's left that to the last possible second.
With 10 seconds.
Yeah.
He jeopardizes his squeeze in. But yeah, it's. I was just slightly thinking there, trying to do maths in my head, being like, does he have time?
Yeah.
Well, he's going to have the freshest tyres for the end of the race now, in comparison to the people around him. So maybe he's played the ultimate strategy that we haven't thought of.
The extreme overcut.
Yeah.
So Eugenie ended up in P6 after we were hopeful that he was going to get a P4. And he's 19 seconds behind P5, so I don't think he's going to catch that up. But still, P6 after that, I would take that.
Shit show, yeah. That's pretty good going for him.
I would take that.
Yeah, definitely.
Did something happen to Van Doren Marlen in the McLaren? Because I don't
be
think...
honest, I've not even noticed.
No.
He's kind of just been on his own. He's just kind of been cruising. Yeah, he's just been cruising in P8 the whole time. I'll find out where he qualified, so I can tell you that. Yeah, he qualified P8. So he was P8 on the grid, and he stayed P8 the whole time. He's just cruised around, like.
He's kept his nose clean.
Yeah, and that's pretty much what you can ask for. What I can do is give you the rundown of the positions right now for those currently listening in.
The other signature, Josh. Let's bring up the timetable.
Right, okay.
Yeah, everyone got their beer? Everyone ready?
Let's go for it.
In the GT3 class, currently on P1, we have the number 75 Ferrari of Badalski, followed by Kenny and Muller, who's in number 54 Aston Martin. In P4, we have Abrenoza in the Ferrari 488 GT3 and number 33 car. A. Anderson, who had the incident earlier with RWB Cricky and Dan Wilk. Next, we have Eugenie in the BMW M6, Baba Ganoush in the Porsche 911 GT3R, Van Doren Marlen in P8 with the McLaren 720S that we were just talking about just now. In P9, we have RWB Cricky, who's had one hell of a race, but not for the right reasons. Next, we have P10, which is Dan Wilkes, all the way at the bottom for the GT3 class. Are you ready for GT4?
Oof, let's go for it.
In GT4, we have Jay Butler currently in the lead in the Ginetta G55 number 17 car. He's had a phenomenal race with a massive lead from start to finish. In P2, we have Jay Barker in number 62 Aston, followed by the number 18 Aston Martin with M. Edmonds. Next, we have P4, which is Matt Skull, Mr. Skull? Yeah, let's go Mr. Skull. Mr. Skull in the Mercedes AMG GT4 101. We then have RWB Charger in P5 in the only Porsche Cayman. Then we have M. Pater in the number 48 Mercedes, followed lastly by RWB Flack in the number 99 Mercedes.
I wonder what happened to Flack.
And breathe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounded a little bit out of breath on that one, Josh.
Mate, smoking's good for you, I swear.
So,
Want to be James Hunt?
Oh man, if only. I'm sweating.
So what's happened to Flack then? He's down in last place after being ahead of Charger.
Yeah, do you want the truth? He's just like, he's not really done much. He's just kind of, I think he's just made a couple slip-ups every now and then going too deep. But he's not had anything horrific from what I've been seeing while you guys have been looking up front. Like, it's just, he seems to just be having just a bit of bad luck with going too deep on the brakes and kicking the arse out a bit.
Maybe he's just not used to this track, as not got as much experience here as he needs to get around an hour without mistake.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't have a million eyes, so maybe there was a collision with GT3, but his car seems relatively clean. So,
yeah, it doesn't look like it's damaged.
Let me go on the replay, I'll have a look for you.
Thank you. So, Badalski out front is 1.2 seconds ahead of Kenny, so Kenny's brought that down by 2.5 seconds in the last kind of 10 minutes. So that's looking promising that he's going to catch up.
Keep up the same pace as Kenny, so Kenny's definitely got the outright pace out of the three.
Yeah.
At the moment.
Last lap, Kenny 0.3 quicker than Badalski.
Yeah.
And Muller.
Be the same again here. Let's see if
Muller
that gap down.
Muller was about a second slower, so something must have happened.
Definitely. Maybe you just got bad traffic, as I've said. You know, you might have just got caught out with GT4 traffic, and Kenny's got lucky. You know, so that could be the case. So we see 33 Ferrari there, very colourful car.
Oh dear! I was just going to say, Andrew Anderson was being very aggressive with Abrenoza and looked like he was going to get the position, and then Abrenoza span and just gave it to him.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah, he managed to recover quite well.
Yeah, I think that was just on power, just too eager with the throttle, trying to stay ahead of Anderson, and turned himself around. So quite unfortunate, but just one of those things, I guess.
So Anderson up into P4 now, and again, don't think he's going to be catching Dylan Muller in P3. It looks like it's going to be quite a big gap. I think it's about 13 seconds, 17 seconds. There we go.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's
in 14 minutes.
Yeah.
You'd have to be multiple seconds a lap quicker to be catching Muller at this rate.
Yeah. And I don't think Abranos is going to be catching back up to Anderson because, again, looking at the timesheets, their fastest lap, Anderson is 0.6 quicker.
Yeah.
So I think he always had the pace. He was just getting around him and then getting past him, but then it just got given to him.
Yeah. I mean, Abranos now is sort of in no man's land. He's 8 seconds off Anderson, and usually he's 8 seconds behind him. So just have to keep lapping and see what happens. And have to hope for some incidents ahead, really. But yeah, as Kenny's closed in to within a second now with Badowski up the front.
Oh, he has. In fact, 0.3. What's happened there?
They must have had some traffic.
I think it looks like he's going to... No, he's not quite going to be able to...
Yeah, there was GT4 traffic that they had to pass.
Okay.
A little news on RWB Flack on what happened to him. I went back, used my magic time glass, my TARDIS. Went back in time, had a look. He pitted twice. And I could not see the reason for the second pit stop.
Did he? So
I'm wondering if he pitted outside the pit window accidentally.
Yeah, or forget to change tyres.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. But yeah, that's all I could see in Josh view. So yeah,
Josh will.
I'll leave you guys to go back to your Kenny watch.
Yeah.
As you guys.
So
the rear of Badowski, sorry.
We're in the cockpit with Kenny now, watching him trying to wrestle his way past Badowski. But their pace is similar enough that it's hard work for him.
I suppose they've just got to figure out where each other's strong and weak. I mean, they had the whole first sort of stint to see each other's pace and where each other was strong, but it's just being able to capitalise on it now. I mean, Kenny seems to have the outright pace at the moment, so just getting the move done on Badowski.
Yeah.
Should be interesting to see.
I'm just wondering, if Kenny hadn't have missed his pit box, he probably would have had this move done by now. Or braked so early for the pit line as well.
Yeah, he did lose a bit of time there, actually.
I think that's definitely Kenny needs... If Kenny works on his pit stops, because there is a lot of time in ACC pit stops, using the manual engine turn off and turn on, you can gain a lot of time, and then braking as late as physically possible for the line and not missing your box.
Yeah. You can see now he's going offline to show his nose to Badowski, to try and pressure him into some of these corners and try and force a mistake out of Badowski, but Badowski seemed to keep cool, calm and collected at the moment, trying not to watch in his mirrors and trying to pull that gap again.
Yeah.
You see it rise a little bit there, so yeah, maybe Kenny just needs to put in another fast lap or so to catch right up to the back of him and hopefully make a move.
Yeah, it seems to me like Kenny's trying a bit too early. I think he's a bit too far back to start going offline because he's just losing himself time.
Yeah.
He needs to be right on the bumper before he starts going offline and trying to show his nose.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, being this close to the Ferrari ahead, he's going to be losing that front end as well, with the less aero going over his front splitter. So that will definitely be a factor in his driving as well. He'll be using up more of the front tyre. So if he stays here for much longer, Badowski's tyres will undoubtedly be better, and towards the end of the race, we might see Badowski pull the gap again if Kenny can't get his move done.
And Badowski in the Ferrari, whereas Kenny's in the Lambo, and the Lambo is notoriously bad with tyre wear.
Yeah, so that could be a factor coming to these final 10 minutes. If Kenny can't get this move done, so we see some GT4 traffic. Hopefully they can get past. Okay. Yeah, no problem.
A little bit wide, but I don't think we haven't seen anyone get a drive-through for track limits this race. That's unusual.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite a flowing track, but there's not huge amounts of places where you really exploit them at the track limits, and when you do, it's often you're on the grass. I mean, the only place is really a barbecue and Clubhouse Bend, which are both 90-degree lefts onto big long straights, but they do have a bit of of sort of concrete, and then they have grass, as you see here. The grass is really the limit. When you get on that, you lose traction, so
Yeah.
it's sort of self-punishing anyway if you do some of the limits around here. So that's probably why I'm not seeing as many track limit penalties.
That is fair enough. So it looks like he's managed to close the gap up again, but he's not quite close enough to get anything done just yet. 9 minutes left. He's probably going to start. He's probably thinking that he needs to at least have a crack at it. It looks like he's going to try around the outside, but no. Badowski's managed to hold it, and it looks like he's lost a little bit of time for going for that move. But at least that was a proper move rather than just showing his nose.
Yeah, he's trying something. I mean, he may have gone a bit deep actually to Ingwe. No, sorry, Leo Coop. Just because of the braking zone and where it is. I mean, that over the crest coming into the braking zone, sometimes you can go deep there quite easily.
Yeah.
Especially when you've lost the front end with less aero. So, but it did work out for him at the end. I mean, he could feed the corner and got more drive away, so he could keep up with Badowski. So, see if he can get this move done. But he's very close at the moment and definitely showing intent.
Cos asks, why has it got the flashing rear light?
It's the rain light.
It's the rain light, yeah.
See that, yeah.
I was wondering why he's got his rain light on in the perfect sunshine of South Africa.
Maybe he's just trying to put Kenny off.
The 37-degree temperatures.
Are you allowed to flash your rain light? Is that in the rules?
Some cars have flashing rain lights.
Oh yeah, but can you flash it on purpose? You know, that's...
I think that goes against the RWB standards, doesn't it?
Oh, does it? I don't know, mate.
I think
impartial.
We should, but yeah, impartial.
Penalty for Badowski.
I swear I'm saying I don't know because I'm being impartial and not because I've forgotten everything. But yeah, well, you guys have been chatting away about Badowski and Kenny and all about hybrid and whatever you guys talk about. I've been watching Peter and RWB Charger fighting out, and it seems to be a bit of a battle of ice and fire. Because that's currently the only battle in GT4 right now. But yeah, Peter catches up in the braking zone, and then Charger just pulls away later on.
That's pretty much the same as what we're seeing with Badowski and Kenny at the front.
Yeah, it's such a weird thing to watch.
The yo-yo.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah. I'll have to see what happens. Cayman being that rear engine's going to be a bit more rotation. Mercedes might be a bit more pushy, but a bit more oversteery on throttle, so slightly different driving characteristics. But it should be an interesting battle. Just whether Peter can get on the back of Charger, really.
I'm not sure what the grunt on the straight of the Porsche is like, but I would say that Peter's probably got the advantage on straight line in the Merc.
You'd think, it being the Merc.
Yeah, that's true. I'm just watching the gap between Crookie and Damien, and it's down to 4 seconds. It was 6 seconds last lap. It's down to 4 seconds.
So Damien's closing in, but
Damien's closing in fast.
Trying to unlap himself?
No, I think they're on the same lap.
Apronosa?
Oh yeah, he is.
Yeah,
he's unlapping himself. Oh, that is true. He's going to get stuck behind him.
Yeah, he's probably get stuck behind 33. That Ferrari there.
Because that gap was like 40 seconds or something at the start. Like after they'd both pit and Crookie they'd both had their like long damage stops. Damien was quite far behind. We did see
RWB Crookie could be struggling with the Lexus still.
Yeah.
With the repairs.
Well, I mean, we did see him going sideways quite a lot after his pit stop. So maybe he's just never got back into the rhythm after the big shunt.
Yeah. Quite possibly, or he's got his tyre pressures completely wrong.
Yeah, true.
Well, it is a nice toasty 37-degree track at the moment.
Yeah.
Don't worry, you haven't missed anything up front with the GT3 leaders or
No, I'm watching the
Charger
gap.
and Peter. Yeah,
The gap at
been
the front
very
is still
monotonous.
just 6/10. Although that looks less than 6/10. No, actually it doesn't.
The accordion effect, my mate.
Yeah.
Accordion effect.
Still 6/10. So what is it? two or three laps remaining? So Kenny's definitely gonna be feeling a bit desperate at this point.
He's got about
been
3
so
laps left.
close.
It still seems like Muller can't keep at them, even though these guys are close together now. Maybe going to start battling. Because Muller is still 5.5 seconds behind. Hasn't really closed that gap like Kenny has from the pit stop. So Kenny definitely showing the outright pace at the moment, but just caught behind Badowski. So they seem a bit like ice and fire.
Oh, you're stealing my phrase.
So in the GT4s, James Butler still out ahead. Don't know what the gap is. In fact, from that it looks like he's lapped P2, because it's showing him plus 2 laps and P2 plus 3 laps. So if that's correct, yeah, it is correct, because it's just reset and it's, oh no, there you go, 30.
Yeah, 32.
Okay.
Is it? It's just gone away again. I don't know what's happening, but it's a big gap. Then
I think Butler's getting to the timing gate, like the next timing gate, before
Oh.
Barker can catch up to it, which is why it's giving us the speed.
Yeah, I see.
Butler is about to lap flat, is he not?
He is about to lap flat, yeah. I think it's
Butler
flat.
definitely has the outright pace in GT4 at the moment, and I don't think anyone's going to touch him.
Yeah,
No.
no, I don't.
He
think
could
so
afford to
either.
crash and then continue on and still win.
Yeah, literally. There you go. He's just got the move done on flat, so he's now lapped. He started to lap the field, yeah.
Eugenie's closed down the gap to the 33 Ferrari as well. He's now 3 seconds behind, so whether we might see a move late last lap of the race, maybe. If you see that 33 Ferrari's just gone through Gita,
but
coming up to Ingwe as
you've got Damien in the way now.
Yeah,
and
I mean, he should get blue flags, so...
okay. So the Ferrari's got past Crookie now. So Crookie is now 1.3 seconds behind Damien, with 2 laps to go. So from starting off close together, then they got really far apart, then they had the massive crash and got close together. Then Crookie waited and Damien lost more time. They've been all over the place, and now that on the last second to last lap they're right next to each other again. And they qualified next to each other as well.
Yeah. As we see that Kenny is now 0.3 of a second
Yeah.
behind Badowski.
Yeah, from watching it, Kenny's been catching so close. He's been right up Badowski's chuff, but no luck whatsoever in getting the move done. You can see he's trying to get a better run from him coming out of Crocodiles, heading up to Cheetah. And hopefully he can get it done in the braking zone of Engway. But, oh man, it's just...
Oh, showing his nose.
Come on, Kenny, just stop showing your nose.
Yeah, he needs to stop doing that. He's just losing time.
That will also lose him some time, yeah.
Oh my god, this is intense. What's that? This is
2 more laps. They do have 2 more laps at this rate.
Yeah,
they can just squeeze it.
Oh.
No, he's showing his nose.
Stop teasing us.
Waiting for the absolutely massive send from 3/10 back.
It could happen.
Yeah, it's happened before.
Come on, Kenny. Show us what you've got. Get your balls up. Come on. He just needs to make a massive send.
Yeah. He's all over the place. They're both darting across the track.
Oh, come on, Kenny. He needs to just choose a line, set it up, and get it done. None of this showing you know stuff, because he doesn't have time for it.
No.
He just needs to get it done. Otherwise, he's going to make a last lap move, which will end up punting him and Badowski off.
I hope not, but to be fair,
he's in control at the moment.
He's clearly been watching me defend him.
Oh wow!
Me holding up crew like last Monday. What was it, 2 Mondays ago? Where I absolutely just held him up for like 10 laps.
You are good at that. You have the natural ability to hold people up.
Yeah.
back with Pater and Charger, I just looked at the gap and it's 800.
Oh, they keep getting so close.
They are
Then-
very close.
Yeah.
Okay, they've just gone on to the final lap. 6/10 is the gap between the top two.
That last lap there might have just been Kenny's chance to try and get past, unless he can pull some magical move. This
Yeah.
lap.
He's going to be desperate.
Come on, Kenny. Just don't. I hope he doesn't do anything stupid and take them both
I hope
out.
he doesn't do a Crawford.
As we see, Wilk is also 3/10 behind Crookshanks as well.
Oh. Exciting.
So
Oh.
they've closed right
Even
up as well.
Even at the bottom of GT3s, we're getting some exciting battles. I wish we could have both of them on the screen at the same time. I don't want to miss anything.
So I'll push Cricky for you.
I'll just... Right, Josh, shout if I should change.
Okay.
It's 5/10 now, the gap, after the first sector of the last lap.
All these guys are close.
Oh my god. Final time through the downhill brake zone.
He just needs to get the run on him here.
Yeah, Badowski went really defensive, and he just ran out of road there. Kenny, if he had been a bit more tight to the apex and got on the power then,
And waited a bit longer and
he
then
would
got
have
the power.
Yeah, he's just completely darted to the left side of the track. Looks like he's going to try and go for a cutback, but Badowski just takes the line, meaning he can't do it. 2/10 now, coming into the last sector, as it's the final corner, and it doesn't. Oh! No, it looks like he's just tried to go round the outside on the exit, but just into the gravel. So Badowski's won that, and Sean Kenny P2, 2.5 tenths behind.
It was a great race. I mean, definitely Badowski was controlling that and putting his car in the right place. Didn't make any
You want to
mistakes.
swap now. You really want to switch now.
I've
getting
switched,
heated.
I've
They've got
switched.
GT3 and GT4 traffic.
We're watching. So we can see Damien Wilk in the white and red Aston and Crookie in the Lexus just in front. 3/10 apart coming into the final sector. And
Charger and
He's right in front of them.
oh my god.
Oh my god.
All of the battles. I don't think Damien's going to get it done either.
No.
So unless Crookie goes wide, oh my god, it's going to be close.
No,
Is he
he
going to get a
just
run?
holds it.
Oh
He just
no.
holds it.
That was close. So Damien manages P9, 3/10 behind Crookie in P8. And have GT4s finished? No, James Butler's just coming onto the final corner to take the win in the GT4s. Nice race from him. Then we'll have to wait about a minute for the next GT4 to come round. So as he slides over the line and into the wall, what a finish. And then John Barker, as we see, I think he's just coming into the final sector now. Maybe, I don't even know where he is.
This is coming up to GT, so this is the second last turn here, yeah.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
So that is it's a dominating gap
yeah.
that Butler had over the rest of the field there.
And Martin Edmonds only 4 seconds behind.
Yeah.
There you go.
So
John Barker
pretty
taking
stable race for
P2.
GT4s. GT3s is all up and down.
So there you go. I think everyone crossed the line. Those top 3 GT3s had lapped the rest of the field. So they managed to do one more lap than everyone else. So Josh, you want to give us a final rundown of where everyone finished?
Oh, mate, you know I love doing this. So, GT3 category. In P1, we had Badowski in the number 75 Ferrari. He had a tremendous fight with Kenny all the way up to the end. He was in the number 710 Lamborghini in P2. In P3, to round off the podium in GT3, we had D. Muller in the number 54 Aston Martin. Further on down the field, we had... let me get this right. Let me get my glasses out. We had the number 33 Ferrari of Ambrinosa, followed by the Eugenie and the number 42 BMW in P5. In P6, we had Van Doren Malen and the number 11 McLaren. He managed to get up from P8, as we saw earlier. He was kind of hovering there for a while. Then we have Babanoush in P7 and the number 31 Porsche. Then Dan Wilk and the number 21 Aston Martin. But we did have Cricky, who was just before him in P8. Sorry, Dan Wilk was in P9. That's my bad. In GT4, we had Jay Butler and the number 17 Janetta in P1. He just stormed away with that. Tremendous lead from start to finish. Then we had Jay Barker in P2 and the number 62 Aston Martin, followed by M. Edmonds and the number 18 Aston Martin as well. We had Skull in the number 101 Mercedes in P4, followed by Charger and Pater, who had a massive battle towards the very end in the Porsche and Mercedes, respectively. And to round it off, we had RWB Flak in the number 99 Mercedes. Great race all the way around.
Nice one. Thanks, Josh.
I'm getting good.
I've
been watching too much Spa commentary. That's what's happened.
Just trying to count the amount of times that you said Dan Wilk instead of Damien Wilk.
Yeah, I said.
So it looks like we've got all of the top three from both classes waiting for interviews. So Josh, if you want to drag in,
let's go with our pole man, Mr. Badalski. Hello, Badalski. How you doing?
Really good. Good evening.
Hi. Yeah, that was fantastic for you. Great battle all the way through to the end, with you fighting Kenny all the way through. Did you feel the pressure at all, or were you nice and cool?
The most part of the race, I felt comfortable because it was a reoccurring pattern. He came close, and on the end of one of the main straights, he would always brake that tiny bit too late, go wide, and I would have a gap again. But I got really nervous on the last 2 or 3 laps.
Yeah, you look like you had everything under control. James, Alex, do you have any questions for Badalski, our number one man?
Do you plan on coming in before Kenny and Muller to try and get the overcut on them, undercut them on them? It worked out really well for you. Did you plan on doing that?
Not really, but the opportunity just offered itself when I was getting slower and slower towards the end of the first stint. I saw these two guys bunching up, and it was right at the halfway point of the race, and I thought to myself, when I go into the pits now, I might leave these two guys in the battle, and maybe I gain some time on them.
Which
yeah,
you
definitely
did.
worked out for you there. Really well done on that strategy move.
Yeah, we'll let you into a little secret. Both Kenny and Muller missed their pit boxes. So they both had to reverse back into the pit boxes, which is how the, I think it was 7 seconds or something, the gap that you had over Kenny when he came out of the pits.
That's normally my thing to do. It's just really easy to mess this kind of up, but I thankfully made it today.
Yeah, well, really well done on the win, and yeah, it looked pretty controlled, but we were getting excited in those last few laps, just seeing you kind of yo-yo apart and getting closer and further apart constantly throughout the whole race.
Yeah, it was also very exciting for me, to say the least.
All right, cheers.
Have a good one.
And you. Yeah, congratulations.
So who are we going to speak to next?
So next, we've got the P2 man from GT3. We've got Kenny with us. Hi, Kenny. How you doing?
Oh.
Or not.
You guys good?
Yeah, hi. Very good. Hi, yeah. How was that race for you? Because we saw you fighting all the way until the end with Badalski.
Yeah.
How was it for you?
Yeah, no, it was good. I felt I had more pace than him, but just couldn't get around him and didn't really want to risk it. So yeah, no, but I was having a blast trying to do it. So yeah, it was good fun. Hopefully, it looked good on the stream. I don't know.
Yeah, you kept us on the edge of our seats the whole way around. I'll let you in something. We were kind of rooting for you to get past them. But yeah, it was brilliant. Alex, James, any questions for our P2 man?
We could definitely see you had the outright pace because you came out of the pits. I think you were about 7 seconds down on Badowski and then managed to pull it back. But that first stint, Muller definitely closed up to you in the Aston. Were you a bit concerned at that point, or could you remain cool and just play to your strengths?
Well, I think when he was coming up to me, I felt like I still wasn't running good laps, so I wasn't too worried. But I knew if he got by me, I'd probably would have gotten to my head a bit, and so I probably would have lost it a bit.
Yeah, we noticed that gap just open up between you and Badowski once Muller got close to you. But as soon as you came out of the pits, you were on fire really, and managed to pull that gap back. And we could tell when you were behind, you seemed to have the pace. You just couldn't get that move done, unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's my driving style or the car. It just didn't seem to have enough power when I needed it down the straights. Maybe my setup was too much wing. I think I was running maybe an 11 wing, so pretty high.
Yeah.
I just
Seemed like
couldn't.
the front of the car was quite pushy.
Yeah. So I just trying to do my best. So, but yeah, I was really hoping. I don't know the turn. What's the turn at the top of the hill just before you come down? That big left hand.
Leocop.
Yeah, I had a lot more pace in him, and I was hoping if I could just squeeze in on the inside, I knew I could outbrake him there big time. But he'd never give me that. So yeah, but it was a good battle with him.
Perfect. Anyway, congratulations on P2. At least you know you have the pace to get him for P1 next time, because yeah, you're definitely up there. But thanks for joining us.
All right, take care, everyone. Have a good day, evening.
Cheers.
See ya.
And finally, our P3 man. We've got, let me get this right, we've got Muller with us. Hi Muller, how you doing?
Hello there. Good, pretty good. How are you?
Yeah, well, we're absolutely ecstatic with that race. We saw you catching up to the P1, P2 guys, and before the pit stops. Were you hopeful, or how did you get that sudden burst of pace?
Well, honestly, I'm not sure, but at the start I was pretty worried because I qualified pretty far behind. Then I caught up in the T1 accident everyone had. I kind of managed to avoid it and then just took behind with Kenny, I guess. Just followed him.
Perfect. Alex, your turn to ask a question. You got anything for our P3 man in GT3?
Just probably about the pit stops again. What was going on with you and Kenny missing your pit boxes?
Yeah, that was horrible. I mean, I didn't know Kenny was missing his pit stops. I was right in front of him. So
Yeah, he missed it as well. And
after it.
On the entrance to the pit, we also saw you pretty much closed I think it was a 7/10 gap, and just in the braking zone into the pit line, you were right on his bumper.
Yeah, I realized he was braking pretty early. Maybe it's just me braking pretty late into pit stops, but I don't know.
That's what you want to do, isn't it? You want to maximize.
Yeah, usually I would try to keep the pit stop as short as possible, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had to drive through Kenny, kind of missed it, had to reverse. And yeah, Kenny was out in front of me anyways. But not, I thought he will go way earlier than me, but he went pretty much the same time like me.
Yeah, you both dived into the pits at the same time, a lap after Badowski, and then after the missing the pit boxes, I think Badowski had like a 7-second lead, and then it looked like you didn't quite have the pace to hold on to the back of Kenny in the second stint, but you seem to be all over him on the first stint, and then I think he just managed to up his pace in the second stint.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I think I was losing pace in the second stint. I mean, I was in the 42s and on the first stint, pretty much consistent. But on the second stint, I was dropping to the 43s. And yeah, I just stayed there, couldn't catch up. It was pretty frustrating, and I was trying to focus on Andrew Anderson behind me.
Yeah.
Because he was catching up, so yeah.
Well, yeah, you managed to hold it, so that's all good now.
Yes, at least.
Hey, congratulations on your podium. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, man. Thank you. Good night.
Now we're on to the GT4 guys. And yeah, we've got, believe it's Jay Butler who was on pole with that.
It is.
Yeah, James Butler with the storming lead ahead. Hi, James. How you doing?
Oh, not bad. Fun evening.
Yeah, well, it looked quite boring for us when we're watching you, because you seem to have an amazing lead, about 30-second lead at some point. Where did you find this pace?
This track is where I chose to use the Ginetta and GT4. So I tested all the cars. Ginetta wasn't the fastest, but it was the most fun. So, and I did my testing without traction control, just to get used to it.
Yeah.
So makes it easier when you don't have it.
Perfect. I'll let other James ask a question, because he's kind of a Ginetta fanboy. Go on, Wolves.
It wasn't.
No, it seemed like you had an amazing control over that race. I suppose it didn't really matter when you pitted in the window with such a dominating lead, really. Did you have any strategy at all coming into the race, or did you just think, I'll see what's going on around me?
Yeah, I usually try and sort of go around the halfway mark because, yeah, you can even it out a bit that way. But like I say, I didn't really have to worry about my pace tonight. So I just thought I'll do it when I fancy and try and sort of hamper it. Well, my crew chief said that I was going to come out behind somebody, so I thought let's have a bit of fun.
Yeah, exactly. No, you definitely dominated the GT4 class this evening. Did you have any issues with the GT3 cars passing you, or was it all pretty much clean passes and nice and safe?
They were great, to be fair. I made my car as wide as I possibly could so they could only pass me on the straights. So, yeah,
we saw that.
Choice.
No, it's great moves, and yeah, no, it's been great to watch, and you've definitely dominated that race this evening. Yeah, congratulations on your P1, and
cheers.
Look forward to seeing you back again.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the replay.
Definitely. Maybe avoid the questionable commentary on the stream. But yeah, definitely.
Well, it's always an entertainment.
Anyway, congratulations on the P1. Thanks
yeah, well done.
Cheers, thank you. Cheers.
Next, we've got our second place man in GT4. We have John Barker. Hi, John. How you doing?
Hi, I'm good, thank you. Yourselves?
Yeah, really good. How did you find today's race? You seem to be quite comfortable in P2 for the most part. How did you find it?
Well, chaos at turn 3. I managed to use the force there, I think, to squeeze through a gap that was about a centimetre wider than my car. And went about 20 minutes chasing and fighting hard with Day and Skull. Good racing guys. Once Day dropped into the pits, I think Skull and myself managed to gain a half a second a lap or so and just run around together. Skull pitted, and at that point I decided to just run it to the end of the pit window. So I must have been a net 4th, I think, after that point. A good pit stop and came out in 2nd. Big gap, though, to James in 1st. He was flying.
Yeah.
So just couldn't do anything with that. So I thought, well, let's just try and hold on to this and keep it steady and let the GT3s pass. So, yeah, that was good race. Good from everybody.
Awesome. Alex, do you have a question for John?
Yeah, we were a little bit worried watching you with the pit window because you pushed it quite tight. I think we saw it at about 10 seconds left on the pit window when you entered.
It was definitely tight, and I was a bit worried on the last half of the lap that I was going to make it in time. So yeah, it was a bit sort of squeaky on the. I think my rear end was grabbing hold of the cloth of the seat.
Yeah, we were wondering whether you were actually just going to miss the pit stop because we've seen that happen a few times in the previous races where people have just not pitted. I don't think they realised that they were meant to, or they just completely missed it. But we were hoping when we were watching you go round, we were like, please pit now, please.
Well, I kind of made a judgment when I went around the lap before and thought, I reckon I can do this, so let's give it a go, because I was back in about, and like I said, I think it was a net 4th at that point, so
yeah.
it was worth a risk, and I think I made it by about, well, if you guys say 10 seconds, you'll have had a better handle on that than me. I thought it was a bit tighter than that, or it felt that tighter than that anyway.
Well, it paid off, so really well done.
It did, yeah, thank you. Thanks, gents.
Awesome. Congratulations. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, cheers.
And finally, for our P3 man in GT4, we've got Martin Edmonds. Hi, Martin. How you doing?
I'm good. How about you guys?
Oh, we've had a fantastic race to watch. You guys made it extremely entertaining. How did you find fighting for P3?
I was not happy with the end result. We've been arguing, chatting, me and John Barker here, because he made a major mistake when I was pressuring him on 3rd and 3. He hit that curb. He went flying. He was like 5 feet in the air. I don't know if the director caught it or not, but he should have had major damage and then he lost 2 or 3 position, and somehow during the pit sequence, he jumped Skull and he jumped me, and he ended up in 2nd place, and he ran with it. I can't believe it. I don't understand how that's possible. So I'm not very happy.
Yeah, we didn't catch him hitting that curb. We caught an incident earlier on with that curb where a GT3 flew high.
Oh, yeah.
And they got a lot of damage and ended up causing a bit of carnage. So it's unfortunate that I guess you were hoping that it would damage him.
Oh, that was my only chance. He was faster by a second. So I'm like,
really?
okay, he's damaged. I'm good. Well, I'll be all right. Wrong. Apart from that, yeah, it was pretty clean. I don't have much complaints with GT3. Maybe one time the guy didn't give me my line and kind of went in, but that's okay. I mean, it's part of racing.
Yeah, that's always good to hear. With the GT4s, I think all of you top 3 have been fairly happy with the passing today. So it's definitely got better since the first round 6 weeks ago.
Oh yeah, much better for sure.
But yeah, P3 still a podium, even if it wasn't where you wanted to finish.
I'll take it. Although I need every points I can get right now, because I think I was on the outside of 3rd place. Maybe I was 4th overall. I'm not sure anymore. I haven't looked after the penalty, but yeah, I'm looking on the outside, trying to get in. Now that Skull is losing a little bit of pace in the last 2 races, maybe I'll have a chance for a top 3 by the end of this champ.
Yeah, that would be nice to see.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, really well done on the podium.
Yeah,
Thank you.
congratulations. Thanks for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you hopefully on the podium, and hopefully in P2 next time.
Thank you.
So,
yeah, that's interview's over. Whoa.
I was just going to say, Cos in the chat saying about how the GT4s are more sprung with the higher ride height, and that would explain why when he hit that curb, it didn't do the same damage that it did to the GT3.
Oh yeah, I can vouch for that. The GT4s can definitely take more of a hit than the GT3s can.
Yeah, so that's unfortunate for Edmonds that he didn't get where he wanted to be, but still P3.
Yeah, I mean, P3 is P3, and it's still a podium. You can't chuck it away. And yeah, it's not P2, but it's also not last. So it's. I know I get told quite a lot, if you're not first, you're last. But still, like on the podium against these guys, they're seriously quick. Like James, hopefully you're going to join RWB and ESR guys soon. For some of the extra races. Don't worry, I'm chucking you on the bus now. But yeah, they are properly quick, and they do have good racecraft. And yeah, still getting a P3 and especially P2, P1, it's really good going. So yeah, hopefully he gets up to P2 next time. But it made entertaining racing for us to watch and commentate on.
Yeah, exactly.
And hopefully everyone watching wasn't too bored or distracted by us chatting a little bit of cack. So more entertaining than the Spa commentary, I'll have you know. I will say that with confidence.
That's savage.
It's
Can't
true.
just Michael Anderson like that.
Had to be done, mate. Had to be done.
I think that rounds out the stream for this week. The next round is next Saturday, same time, and it's at Monza. So that could be an exciting turn 1 again.
I love Monza turn 1.
Yeah. Hopefully.
I love watching it. I don't like driving it.
Hopefully we'll have
when
James
I say
back.
Monza turn 1, I mean I like the runoff area next to turn 1 at Monza.
Go for the runoff. Even
don't you mean the straight across runoff?
Don't
Take out
the
all the polystyrene boxes. Oh. Yeah, so I don't know if James is going to join us next week.
We'll peer pressure him until he does.
Yeah, we'll peer pressure him. But I think we should have James back next week.
I'm supposed to be at Crop, but I don't know. I might be able to make it on the evening at least.
I'm sure you could do it on your phone.
Try my best.
Votes in the chat for whether we want James back next week.
Oh, we can finally get hype in the chat.
Yeah. All right.
I'll bring more beverages next time.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that rounds it out. Hopefully you're all going to join us next week. And yeah, congrats to all the top three. Well, congrats to everyone that raced for keeping it fairly clean for the most part. Unlucky Charger that your sandbagging didn't work. And yeah, that's it. And everyone have a good night. Oh yeah, don't forget. Thanks to Racing Sim Tools and SimSock, our sponsors, for making RWB possible. Josh, have you got anything to say?
Oh, you know I've always got something to say.
Yeah.
But yeah, here we go, lads. Don't race alone. Race RWB.
All right. Thanks, everyone. See ya.